The Fat Controller sat in his car, looking at the bridge where Thomas and Sonny once sat under. No one had known who had set them free, nor where they had gone, but the bridge had been fixed, and the island was still perplexed. "We must find Thomas and Sonny," said the Fat Controller. "I'll consult the engines." Percy puffed home the next morning. Although he got a severe scolding from Victor, nobody knew that he had set Thomas free, and his lie had worked. And not only that, but Diesel 10 and his cronies had bullied whoever might have seen into submission. It was about 9 o'clock when Percy finally reached the sheds, and the Fat Controller was about to talk to all the engines. "As I'm sure you're all aware," he began to speak, "Thomas and Sonny have escaped. We don't know who, or how, or where they've went, but we do need to find them. So, I will be commissioning one of you to help the detectives in their search. Let's see, Gordon, the Express, Henry, the goods train. James, you're free this morning. I think you should take them on their little excursion to find Thomas and Sonny." Okay, said James. "It'll be a good job for you," said the Fat Controller. "Yes, but isn't there something better I could be doing than hauling around detectives all day?" puffed James. "It's a very important job," said the Fat Controller. "And besides, detectives are very prestigious people. It's a splendid job, and I think you'll enjoy yourselves. Now, I must be off. Lady Hyde is waiting for tea. Good day." After he left, Percy crawled back into the shed, and they began to talk as their crews got them ready for the day. "Aren't you going to miss Thomas?" said Percy to any of the engines. "Well, I don't know," said James. "Probably not." "But why not?" said Percy. "It's the same as before. Thomas isn't here, and he isn't here now. It's not any different." "But," wheezed Percy, "we still got to talk to him. We still got to see him. Now he's just completely gone. Are you sure you're not going to miss him, James?" "Like I said, I'll be fine. Now, I must go pick up the detectives from Knapford." He blew a toot on his whistle and puffed out of the shed. James soon arrived to pick up his coaches. However, he wasn't the only engine in the yard that morning. Diesel was on the other side of the yard, crossing the main line. Just then there came a loud whistle, and Oliver came screeching through the yard. And they crashed straight into Diesel. "You stupid great engine," said Diesel. "Where's your brake van?" "Toad had to go to the works," puffed Oliver from behind the wreckage. "There were no other brake vans available, and my cars just happened to get away from me. I'm sorry, Diesel, but this wasn't my fault." Soon, however, the mess was cleaned up, and Oliver was on his way again. Soon Diesel, still covered in grease and smut from the accident, oiled back into the yard. "I'll get Oliver back somehow. I'll get Oliver back somehow. I'll get Oliver back somehow," he oiled. "Hey, Pally," said a voice. "You want to get back at Oliver?" "Oh, yes. And you've come to the right place. I hate Oliver just as much as you do. He humiliated me and tore me to bits. But I think together we can really do some damage." "You think so, do you?" "Yes, and I have just the plan." "Well then, tell me this plan of yours, and if I think it is worthy, then we shall do it." "Quick and sudden, but okay," said Scruffy. "Alright, here's the plan," said Scruffy. "Oliver's taking a train from Arlesdale up to Farquhar tomorrow, and he doesn't have Toad because Toad's in the works. So here's the plan. You'll shove me behind Oliver's train. Then, you'll go in front of me, up the loop, and over the Maithwaite Bridge. Collect a train of cars, then push the cars up to the Maithwaite Bridge. When Oliver reaches the Maithwaite Bridge with me behind him, I'll turn on my brakes. Then you'll bump the cars into him, hopefully coupling them together, and you'll pull from the other side. Then with me braking on the backside, you pulling from the other side, Oliver will be torn to shreds." "That's brilliant," said Diesel afterward. "What time does this train leave?" 9 o'clock tomorrow," said Scruffy. "So you better be here in Knapford by 8. "Yes, yes," said Diesel. By the time 8 o'clock came, Diesel and Scruffy were already on their revenge quest. "Alright," said Scruffy. "You know the plan, right?" "Yes, I know the plan," said Diesel. "Alright," said Scruffy. "Just checking. This must go right if we're to take our true revenge on Oliver." "Yes," said Diesel. "Let's just get it over with." Sure enough, when they arrived, Oliver was already there, and preparing to leave. So they quickly hurried off onto the other line and prepared to hook up Scruffy to Oliver's train. Diesel quickly shunted the cars together, so they coupled. Just as smooth as a brake van after his wheels have been oiled, said Diesel. Yes, now get to your part, said Scruffy. Yes, yes, said Diesel, and he oiled away. Diesel soon crossed the junction and was getting ready to pick up the cars at Maithwaite. After a few minutes, the guard's whistle blew, and Oliver took off after a soft toot-toot on his whistle. Further down the line, on the western side of the Maithwaite Bridge, Diesel had his cars in position and was ready. Now Oliver will pay, oiled Diesel, slyly. Yes, he will pay. He will be torn apart. Nothing can stop us now. As they raced through McColl's farm, Scruffy was also having similar thoughts. Soon at hand, soon at hand, soon at hand, he thought. Revenge will come, revenge will come, revenge will come, he thought. He hoped. As Oliver made his way to the bridge, the plan went into action. Hold back, yelled Scruffy to the other trucks, and being trucks, they did just that. Oliver, now panting from the strain, had just made it to the top of the bridge, when... Diesel now made his way up the other side of the bridge and bumped the cars together so they just coupled. Diesel then began to pull back on his side, Oliver still not knowing what was going on, as he couldn't see Diesel over the freight cars. And with Scruffy braked on his end, Oliver's body began to strain. "Oh! Ah! Oh!" cried Oliver, as his body began to splinter and the metal crack. "Ah! Whatever is going on?" inquired his driver. Parts soon began to break and fall off of Oliver. Oliver winced and groaned some more. "Ah! Ah!" he cried. Scruffy soon began to laugh. "Yes, revenge is at hand!" But then, Oliver yelled something. "I'm coming apart!" he yelled. Suddenly, Scruffy was taken back. He was taken back to all those years ago. All the pain, all the anger, those fateful words, "I'm coming apart," that he yelled. He tried to get the other trucks to stop, but it was too late. One of Oliver's bearings, then an axle, then a wheel gave out, and he tumbled off the bridge to the line below. Upon seeing this, Diesel knew he was done, and scurried away. Fortunately, James and the detectives were sitting close by. They saw everything and phoned the Fat Controller and the authorities immediately. The Fat Controller soon arrived, along with Harvey to help Oliver. "Scruffy, I don't know what you were thinking," said Sir Topham Hatt, "but now there's been an accident, Diesel is gone who knows where, and there are stolen goods. I don't know what to do with you, Scruffy. I simply don't. Now, I must find an engine to clean up the mess. And return those stolen freight cars. Wait a minute. The blasting and oil car were gone. How peculiar. Oh well, someone must have taken it back already. Now, where's Percy? He might be able to help return this train." Scruffy now sat and sulked for the crime he committed and tried to stop. He didn't know what to do now. Oliver just sighed.